Looks like just about a 10-minute start, ladies and gentlemen. Just about 10 minutes before we get started with our afternoon.
First of those entries should be joining us here.
Okay, Chris. Okay, we're gonna go camera 1, 2, 3. This is camera 2, camera 1. Okay, so camera 2, camera 3, go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
Copy, camera 3.
Okay, did you call in just a moment ago for something?
Oh, I got the beauty shot of the gazebo.
Okay, fine. And again, Chris, anything that has long jeans or hits, you know, pretty shots. Nothing that has light posts away or just nice clean shots.
Official rules. All entries must be submitted by February 9th, 2018. Each summer, the world's best riders embark on a quest. And while there are many ways to get there, there is only one destination. Welcome to the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American. The continent from here its Western Action takes off in a 3-nation series that takes them to North America's ultimate equestrian destination. And it all teams up as the Western where one rider will emerge at the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping Final. It turns out to be in Paris.
And once again, exhibitors, I'd like to welcome you out here to our $35,000, that's our Desert Welcome Steak. And before we get started, we'd like everybody to ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you out here this afternoon for our $35,000, that's our Desert Welcome Steak. And before we get started, I would like to go ahead and have you help us stand and for our national anthem here this afternoon. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to sit back, relax, and let's get ready for some exciting show jumping right here in Thermal, California, in the desert for our Desert 4 here. Through the gate, and we want to welcome Mr. Harley Brown up on wide cornet.
Beezie Madden, Jenny 10.
first of 32 to join us.
While Harley Brown rides internationally for Australia, he rides out of Redwood City, in fact, in Northern California as well. So our first contender, and he's been coming down to fence number 1, and nicely done over fence number 1. Make a wraparound turn to a vertical at fence number 2. And a related line for fence number 2 onto fence number 3. So we come down to a nice square oxer as well. Heights of the fences up to 1.45 m. And here's the first of the 2 combinations that oxer in. The 1 stride to the vertical, easily done. My Lord Coronet's Harley Brown. Harley Brown, always such a wonderful rider to watch. As he just jumped fence number 5, left-hand turn, wrap him back around. Looks a little stick in that corner. As the horse got a little sticky coming back around. On a fence number 7, that bendy line, the Ulster Guard signature fence. That one comes down, unfortunately. So that'll be 4 faults right on that board for Harley Brown, the first rider, and My Lord Coronet. Blanket fence number 8, slightest touch, it came down, those flat cups right there. There's a skinny plank as well. Fence number 9, there's the orange oxer. The sunset at fence number 10. Makes a right-hand turn in front of the Go Rentals VIP Pavilion right here in Coachella Valley. For 11A, 11A is down, 11B is good, 11C is good. So far coming home with 12 faults. And there's the final fence, the Purina signature fence. There's the time, 73.90 seconds. And our first rider, 12 jumping faults. The rider from Australia, Harley Brown, aboard My Lord Coronet. So 73.90, 12 jumping faults, just 3 fences down. Remember, this is a young horse. A Dark Bay 8-year-old gelding, an Oldenburg by breeding, by the stallion 1 Tender 2. And on the mare side, Cornet Obolensky has blood from the mare side as well. So Harley Brown, My Lord Coronet, I know not exactly what he wanted with 12 faults to start out. However, that still is a young horse. Lots of potential right there. Valinsky S, here is our next horse, the rider Shaun Cassidy, riding for the USA, so the host nation. That's a Royal Dutch Warm Blood, owned by Winmont from Wellington, Florida. Shaun Cassidy having joined us so far for all 4 weeks of the 2018 Coachella number 4, the beautiful Hits Thermal Horse Park. Absolutely perfect weather for show jumping. 31 degrees Celsius, 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Not a cloud in the sky. And as you can see, Shaun Cassidy wearing those sunglasses as he always does, as he's aboard Valinsky S, this 16-year-old bay gelding. For first rider, 12 faults. That was Harley Brown from Australia, My Lord Coronet. The second rider rides for the host nation of the USA, Shaun Cassidy, aboard Valinsky S. So we hear that sound of the tone. We've already had the luxury of watching that first rider go. It's a problem at fence number 7, 8, and also 11A into that triple combination. There's that first fence. Nicely done. This horse is the perfect age, 16-year-old bay gelding. He knows exactly what he's doing. And Shaun Cassidy, such a talented rider from the east, joining us here in the west. Here's the first of the combinations. Usually over A. B, very nicely done. You see that horse just locks on to fence number 5. He relaxes through that turn as he comes on to fence number 6. Moves forward, gets to the spot he wanted to. And the horse just does a nice job backing up at fence number 7. Here's the plank at fence number 8. That skinny plank. Sometimes it's hard to get a focus on it. Oh, but nicely done at fence number 8. 9 and 10, those are up next. There's the orange oxer. Oh, and unfortunately that comes down in fence number 10. So right now, 4 faults at fence number 9. That was the orange oxer for the first rider for the host nation of the United States. Triple combination. There's the Pac-Man triple combination. Oh, and the C element comes down, so he's holding on to 8 faults. And there we are. Time was good at 71.86 seconds. just the 2 fences down for the first rider for the USA, Shaun Cassidy, aboard Valinsky S, a 16-year-old gelding owned by Winmont from Wellington, Florida. Now again, time allowed 76 seconds. As we have a nice pan of the Grand Prix Stadium. Let's have a look at that 11 A, B, and C combination. That's the Pac-Man triple combination. Laura Hite. And this rider aboard Calypso Vandazutova. This is a 10-year-old gelding, amateur rider here. This horse signed by Tangelo Vandazutova. The third rider joining us, third of 33. And this rider also for the USA, this amateur rider, Laura Hite. And you see Calypso Vandazutova just nice and happy after fence number 1. Make that right-hand turn. There's the vertical. Well, I say amateur rider. She is a very, very solid amateur rider. So we come to that first of the 2 combinations. Oh, unfortunately, fence number 4B coming down. Just barely touched that. Also, these horses riders are coming in. There's a whole sea of rails at 4B, 4A, B, and C, or 4A, B, and fence number 5. So lots to look at. But so far, 8 faults with 2 fences coming down for Laura Hite and Calypso Vandazutova. There's that plank. Not a problem at the plank. And she will continue down on a fence number 9. The orange ox are coming out. 2 fences down, a little rub there. And fence number 10. So here's that right-hand turn in front of the Go Rentals VIP Pavilion. And this is the turn to come home. 8 jumping faults, just 4 efforts remaining. And 4A, 11A, 11B, 2 stride, and that is beautifully done. Perfectly done. Laura Hite, just the 2 rails. And there's that finish line. Well, she's going to pick up also a time fault as her time exceeded our time allowed. So 8 jumping, 1 time for a total of 9 faults. And the time 79.48 seconds. And I do believe that the judges probably will keep that time allowed at 76 seconds. So Laura Hite, Calypso Vandazutova, they move in a second place with the total of 9 faults. The 2 rails down and just that 1 time fault on the clock. So far, 2 nations represented, Australia and 2 riders for the USA. Let's go to our neighbors to the north and Olympian John Anderson from Calgary, Alberta, aboard the 13-year-old gelding, Granite S. Yeah, and John Anderson, not with his normal longtime partner, and that is terrific. But Granite S, this 13-year-old gelding, just stepping up into his own. Coming up to this World Cup level. So easily over that first fence. Nice inviting first fence. It also comes towards the in-gate, so possibly some things to look at for these horses. Some distractions. Fence number 2, nicely done. AIG signature fence. And easily over fence number 3. Here's the first combination. Ooh, very, very nicely done. You see that look of determination on John's face as he comes down to fence number 5. Beautiful ride. He knew the spot he wanted to get to give his horse the best opportunity to jump fence number 5 clear. There's fence number 6 and fence number 7. Okay, so clear so far. Just 7 efforts remaining. Okay, so the plank's still up at fence number 8. Here's the orange oxer. Which orange happens to be one of John's favorite colors. There's fence number 10 as he's going to make that right-hand turn. Pac-Man combination, 11A, B, and C. And he can see that finish line. Just has to keep all the concentration there. A, nicely done. B, nicely done. C, nicely done. Time looks good. Oh, and there is the run for the finish line. He knew the time was going to be tight. He gets in under there, 75 and change, and a clear round. So Olympian John Anderson, he's got to be happy with that, 75.40 seconds. You can tell he is happy with his mount, Granite S, as he drops the reins, and they are just nice and relaxed. The 4th out of the gate, the first clear And that was the Olympian from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, John Anderson aboard Granite S. So right now, Canada on top of the leaderboard. The USA with Shaun Cassidy in second. Laura Hite for the USA in third. And fourth, the rider from Australia, Harley Brown. So we do have that first clear, $35,000 desert welcome stake. Brings us to the rider from Rancho Santa Fe. He rides for the USA. Karl Cook aboard Tembla. Tembla, a 14-year-old chestnut mare owned by Signing Osprey of Redwood City.
And that's the bell to start entry number 5.
Now, this horse rider combination, they've been very, very, very successful. In fact, Karl represented the United States at the World Cup Finals in 2017. He's looking to go back this year.
For the $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake.
And Karl Cook right now ranked 10th on the Western Sub-League for the Longines FEI World Cup North American League. But this horse rider combination, they've been together for a number of years. And certainly a great partnership. So fence number 1, fence number 2. And Karl Cook, in fact, trains with the legend from France, Eric Navet. Oh, maybe got a little tight there. Not a problem at all through that 4AB combination. You can see the horse's ears just prick up at fence number 5. And the ears are starting to move, so she's getting all these commands from Karl as he's coming around. He's got a beautiful feel on this horse. Okay, so fence number 7. He is looking so good out there. As you come to this plank, fence number 8. Easily over the plank. Up next, the Oxer. We do have a little pull on fence number 9. Not a problem. Fence number 10. This horse is jumping every fence so effortlessly and making it look so easy. Triple combination ahead. A is good. B is good. Got an amazing jump over B. C is good as well. Time looks like it's going to be not a problem as well. And we are, in fact, going to have a jump off 75.14 seconds. And a clear round as well. So Canada and the U.S., well, they have one rider representing themselves in the jump off. So John Anderson, he will meet and face off Karl Cook in our $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. And such a beautiful ride. Karl Cook, as always, he makes it look so easy in that mare, that 11-year-old mare, Tembla. You can see he is so happy with that, and justifiably so. So clear number 2, that means we are going to have that jump off this afternoon. The weather is absolutely perfect. As you can see, not a cloud in the sky. Let's go back to our Canadian riders. Justin Prather aboard Bolero HX. And this horse owned by Braden Equestrian of Calgary, Alberta, a 12-year-old gray gelding. Oh, easily over fence number 1. Okay, so Justin Prather and Bolero. That's got to give you a lot of confidence when you feel that explosion off the ground at fence number 1. Fence number 2 easily done. Again, this beautiful course set by Alan Wade from Tipperary, Ireland. There's the combination 4A, 4B. Gets his horse back beautifully to fence number 5. So we've had 2 clears in a row. Will this be the 3rd clear? Okay, there's fence number 6. Rattle it a little bit. Oh, rattle fence number 7 as well. So hopefully that just gets the concentration back. Okay, so fence number 8. Come down to the Liverpool at the Oxer. This rider also an amateur rider for Canada. And just 4 jumping efforts remaining. 11A, B, and C is up next. There's the A. There's the B. Ooh, rattle it. There's the C. He only has 1 more to go. There's that finish line. Will he do it at 75.91 seconds? Wow, squeaks in just under the wire at 76 seconds. You can tell he is super happy with that, and we got to be happy with this as well, as we have 3 for the jump off, $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake here on the World Cup week, and the final of those 7 legs, part of the Longines FEI World Cup North American League. So Justin Prather in the jump off. So John Anderson, Karl Cook, Justin Prather, 3 clears in a row, 2 Canadian riders, 1 American rider. We're going to stay with these Canadian riders. From Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, Ali Ramsay aboard Hermilion van de Hooghoeve. This is an 11-year-old mare, a Belgian warm blood. And while a young rider here for Canada, a very seasoned rider as well. And she's such a good hand on a horse. So John Anderson, Karl Cook, Justin Prather. Well, this could be clear number 4. Easily over fence number 1. It's always that welcoming fence, fence number 1. If it's an auction, usually a little bit rampy. And fence number 2, easily done. I'm going to say Ali Ramsay, she's just a beautiful tactician when she's in the ring on course. And 4A and 4B, she always knows where her horse is, always knows exactly where she wants to get that horse to that perfect spot. Okay, there is fence number 6. Wow, nicely jumped. And these horses and these riders, they are loving this course. As always, Alan Wade from Ireland, such a brilliant, brilliant course designer. So the plank, not a problem, that skinny plank. Come down to this line. There's 9, nicely put. Fence number 10. Okay, so just the 4 efforts remaining. Right-hand turn, 11, A, B, and C. There's a 2-stride. The C element rattles it. Okay, just 1 fence. There's a finish line, 73-54, and a clear round. So Canada, well, Canada with 3 out of the 4 in the jump off, and Ali Ramsay from Victoria, BC, from the island. She's got to be happy with that. As Emmeline van de Hooghoven, the 11-year-old bay mare, going clear. So John Anderson, Karl Cook, Justin Prather, Ali Ramsay, and 4 clears in a row. Will this trend continue? As this is going to be an exceptional jump-off. The first of the FEI events tomorrow, $42,200 Desert Classic. And that is an FEI event tomorrow as well. And Saturday of the Coachella Desert Circuit. That is the Longines World Cup Jumping Coachella. Love to have this rider in the jump-off, but he's got that first round of tackle first. The master of faster, Richard Spooner, 10-year-old stallion, owned by CNS Logistics. Oh, unfortunately, fence number 2 coming down. And Arthos R, you can tell he just had a little bit of a, he was mad that that fence came down. Because these horses, they always want to jump clear. Okay, so 4 faults for Richard Spooner and Arthos R. Little touch at fence number 6. And fence number 7. And you see those beautiful hills in the background. As we were in Coachella Valley, this is an amazing spot. And the weather, once again, absolutely perfect. 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius, my correction. And fence number 10. So 4 faults as he comes into that last combination and down to the last line at fence number 12. So Richard has a really nice pace. Just got into there just a little bit spooky. And so 8 jumping faults for Richard Spooner and Arthos R, 75.03 seconds. And that is just too bad right now, putting him into 6th place. I know Richard Spooner wanted to probably have obviously a better round. Got a little spooky coming into that last combination, fence number 11A. Looked like he got a little sticky off the ground. Arthos R did. It's a 13-year-old stallion. Lots of things to look at as well. As Richard going right down that line again, fence number 11. A, B, and C right through the door into his VIP pavilion. So certain things for the horses to have a look at as well. A little ghost underneath the Pac-Man fence right there at 11C. At that vertical boxer, vertical combination. So 8 jumping faults, Richard Spooner and Arthos R. Still with the 4 clears. And that is John Anderson, Karl Cook, Justin Prather, Ali Ramsay. Well, up next, they are the $1 million pair. Mandy Porter riding for Abigail Weiss aboard the 13-year-old gelding Milano. And we say they're the $1 million pair because this horse rider combination in 2017, right here, At the Hits Coachella Desert Circuit week number 8, won the AIG $1 million Grand Prix. I know Mandy Porter and Milano, they'll have their eyes focused on winning again this year, as this horse, this wonderful 13-year-old gelding, this horse looks like he is ready. So Mandy Porter, obviously she's looking for those World Cup points as well. She is currently ranked number 2 for the North American Western Sub-League. Just a little fight there to fence number 5. Mandy, always beautiful hands, gets Milano back. And this is a Swedish warm blood owned by Abigail Weiss. Seven nicely done as we come to fence number 8. Okay, so there's the plank. We still have that clean performance to this point. Mandy Porter and Milano. You know that triple combination? 11A, 11B, 11C. Looks like Mandy Porter and Milano, they could be going clear. And in fact, they are. There's that finish line. Time was good, 74. Well, 74 seconds and a change, 74.79, and a clear round. We add another name to the list, and that is $1 Million Mandy Porter and $1 Million Milano. And Mandy Porter, you see that smile right there. She knows that this horse is geared to have a wonderful 2018 Hits Coachella Desert Circuit. As week number 4, starting out the FEI competition with that clean performance. And we know she wants to go to the finals as well, as she has her eyes set on the AIG $1 million Grand Prix in week number 8. So currently, 2 American riders, 3 Canadian riders. There's the tone, Jamie Barge from Malibu. This horse owned by Kyliko is Lubo. Lubo, a 13-year-old gelding. These two have been together for quite a while, have been very, very successful. And Jamie Barge, in fact, spent some time over in Europe competing as well with her horses. They're always well prepared, always well turned out. And you can see her horses, they just love to fly. So there's fence number 3 on to 4A and 4B. There's on to fence number 5, so clear so far. Jamie Barge and Lubo, left-hand turn 6 and 7. Coming up next. There's that banding line. There's the Oxer with the Sunset Standards. And the Ulster Guard. Okay, so right-hand turn on a fence number 8. And on fence number 8, we have the plank. That should not be a problem. Number 8, 9 is ahead. Jamie Barge is setting up her mount perfectly right there. What a nice jump. Oh, and that horse, just that front end gets up so high, so elastic through the hips as well, as the horse stretches over top of those fences. Combinations, the last one right here. Oh, wow. This horse is explosive. Coming home. Oh, time could be a factor. She races for that finish line. Oh, and unfortunately, time is a factor, as she will pick up just 1 time fault on the clock, 79.26 seconds. Jamie Barge and Lubo. That horse spends so much time in the air that sometimes it's difficult to make those times allowed. But, and I'm sure that Jamie Barge, at some point in time, in the near future, will be wondering, in fact, where she could pick up that just a little bit more pace, but doing such an exceptional job. Well, 5 clears to this point. And a Canadian rider up next from Calgary, Alberta, originally from Edmonton, Alberta. Elizabeth Gingras aboard Daylight VDL. World Dutch Warm Blood. It's a 10-year-old gelding. We're sired by Balubé de Rouet. So Jamie Barge, she had that 1 time fault, but she was still super happy with that, because the 1 time fault some of these riders, they're using this as a little bit of a warm-up because it is a welcome stake as they are looking for Saturday's event. So Elizabeth Gingras and Daylight VDL as they make that turn to the first combination. 4A, 4B. What a great rider from Canada as well, Elizabeth Gingras, aboard Daylight VDL. This is a name you certainly want to remember, as she will be representing Canada. I don't think of the too long away at the Olympics, as I know she was shortlisted to go to Rio. So we come through that. There's vertical at fence at number 10. And so many riders have gotten to this point being absolutely perfect. We're going to see how this goes. 11A, 11B, and 11C. So just one remaining. Time looks like it's good. 75.98 seconds. You know what? You cannot cut it any closer to that for the most part. As a clear round for Elizabeth Gingras and Daylight VDL. Time allowed 76 seconds. Their time 75.98 seconds. Just a beautiful job on course. And Canada with another in the jump off. 4 Canadian riders. These Canadian riders, they get out of the cold. They are loving this warmth. 31 degrees Celsius, 88 degrees Fahrenheit this afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky. And Jenny McAllister riding Legis Touch the Sun. The source owned by LegisEquine.com of Burbank. Jenny McAllister, she wants to go back to the World Cup final. She's already represented the United States a couple times. And currently she's ranked 4th on the North American Western Sub-League. And Legis Touch the Sun, a 12-year-old Holsteiner gelding. So 6 have been absolutely picture perfect. Well, fence number 1 making it look so easy. You know, first 3 fences behind, 15 jumping efforts in total. The first of the combinations. Nicely over the oxer, nicely over the vertical. And Jenny always does such a great job at schooling her horses on the flat. There's the Sunsets, fence number 6. And the Berger Ingelheim signature fence at fence number 7. So here we are coming down to the plank. Not a problem with that Longines vertical. The plank, fence number 9 and 10. She's making that turn. Now let's have a look at the time. Time allowed 76 seconds. Time could be a little bit tight here. We need to get another American rider into this jump off. And she just has 1 fence remaining. And yes, another American rider into that jump-off round. Jenny McAllister and Legis Touch the Sun. So the host nation adds another name. So right now, John Anderson, Karl Cook, Justin Prather, Ali Ramsay, Mandy Porter, Elizabeth Gingras, and now Jenny McAllister for the host nation of the USA. So 7 coming back for this jump off. Alan Wade from Ireland. Again, wonderful job as always. Here's Firestone S. This is a fairly new pairing up. This horse owned by Nicolette Hurd of Alamo. And the rider calling home Bermuda Dunes, California. Rides for Canada, John Pearce. This is a 13-year-old bay gelding. So Jenny McAllister and USA. The last to go clear. I mentioned this is a fairly early or fairly new pairing, John Pearce and Firestone S. But John Pearce, he has oodles and oodles and oodles of talent and experience. And this horse just seems to just really respond to his ride. Oh, A is down. Looked like he got just a little sticky off that takeoff coming into that first combination. We're going to make that left-hand turn. Sunsets are up next. 4 faults for the Canadian rider John Pearce aboard Firestone S. Oh, and fence number 7. Okay, so we have 8 faults. I was talking to John Pearce earlier in regards to this horse, and he loves this horse. Thinks this horse, another 13-year-old gelding, Belgian warm blood, has oodles of talent. And again, just a fairly new pairing up within 2018 alone. So there's fence number 9. So Liverpool behind them. Fence number 10, Oxer easily done. Make that right-hand turn. 4 jumping efforts remaining, but a little bit easier said than done, as this combination right against that rail. A is down. So coming home with 12 faults, and time's going to be a factor. Well, I think JP or John Pearce is going to be happy with that, with the 12 jumping faults. I know it's not exactly what he wanted. However, sometimes it's always nice to have those things where you can go back to the drawing board just a little bit and say, okay, you know what happened there? What happened there? How do we build this relationship just a little bit faster? 12 jumping, 1 time for a total of 13. And John Pearce and Firestone S, their time 79.60 seconds. With that time, JP normally is not ever over that time allowed, but you know that was just that feeling out ride sort of thing, as Firestone S is just a little bit jazzed right now. Not a big deal, as JP just relaxes, and that horse is wonderful. So we do have those 7 clears. Right now, 2 nations in the jump-off. Love to make it 3 nations. Here he is back in the ring, Harley Brown. This rider rides for Australia aboard the 11-year-old Grey Gelding Chase. And this is a Holsteiner. So second roll of the dice, second chance for Harley Brown. And sometimes second time is a charm. So we hear that sound of the tone, 45-second clock counting down. Harley Brown always gets right down to business. He's such a wonderful professional rider from Northern California. And this horse can jump. Wow. So 11-year-old Grey Gelding, this horse owned by Harley Brown Equestrian. Oh, and unfortunately, fence number 3 coming down for Harley Brown and Chase. This rider from Portola Valley. So 4A, 4B. And that one fence that came down didn't look like he got a bad distance or anything like that, just a miscalculation. On fence number 6, there's fence number 7. So just that early rail at fence number 3, Chase and Harley Brown, as they come down to fence number 9, and that is the Orange Oxer. We do have that Water Trail or Liverpool underneath that at fence number 9, easily over fence number 10. Really liking this horse, really liking this ride as well. Harley Brown always putting in such a solid ride. Just a little check there. Gets his horse back, ramped up for the triple combination. Okay, time could be a factor here, though. Remember, time allowed 76 seconds. There's that Chase. Oh, and he doesn't make it. 77.18 seconds. The one rail down, and unfortunately, we have to add on 1 time fault for a total of 5 for Harley Brown from Australia. He's still got to be happy with that, as Chase, an 11-year-old Grey Gelding, and I think that horse has a massive future ahead of him. Harley Brown, as always, such a great rider to watch. Rides for Australia internationally, but in fact rides out of Portola Valley, California. So Harley Brown's first ride, that was My Lord Coronet, had 12 faults. Second ride, just the one rail at fence number 3, and just a little bit over that time allowed of 76 seconds, while met the 1 time fault. Our next rider from Egypt. Well, rides internationally for Egypt. He rides out of Encinitas, California, Nayel Nassar. And he is aboard Lorden, a 14-year-old stallion. This is a Hanoverian stallion, started by Lordanos. But I got to tell you, this rider, always love watching him compete. He's always prepared. His horses are always prepared as well. And Nayel Nassar always wants to be in that winner's circle. Which, granted, all these athletes, they want to be like that. They want to be in the winner's circle. That's why they compete at this level. But Nayel Nassar, I've watched him win so many Grand Prix, and he always does it in such wonderful fashion. Coming to that first combination. There's the Oxer. There's the vertical. Easily done. And the one thing about Nayel Nassar, you will rarely, if ever, see Nayel ever get time faults. Because he always keeps his horses on such a wonderful pace. Okay, so time does not look like it's going to be a factor for Nayel Nassar. He does make that wider turn, that wider approach than a lot of riders have made. Just giving his horse a little bit more time to focus. There's that final fence. Beautiful jump, beautiful ride. 74-94, and Egypt has won in the jump off. Nayel Nassar and Lorden. What a great ride, as always. He has such a nice feel on his horses. And you see Lorden, we're done work. He relaxes, puts his head down as they trot towards that in gate. So John Anderson, Karl Cook, Justin Prather, Ali Ramsay, Mandy Porter, Elizabeth Gingras, Jenny McAllister, and now Nayel Nassar. 3 nations represented in the jump-off. $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake, the first FEI competition this week, and the first of 3 competitions we will have. The sound of the tone, the legend from France, Eric Navet aboard Calypso. Calypso, an 11-year-old gelding. This horse owned by Signy Ostaby from Redwood City. Now, Eric Navet, originally from France, rides out of Rancho Santa Fe, California. And this rider, world champion, European champion, Olympic medalist. He is amazing to watch. Oh, unfortunately, 4A is down. The one nice thing with Eric Navet, he just always watches hands. He always has beautiful, beautiful hands. His horses are always so well schooled. Just like all these riders at this level, they have to be that well schooled. Okay, so 4 faults for the legend from France, Eric Navet and Calypso. Just in that first of the combinations. As we come up to the plank. There's Liverpool, fence number 9. Easily done. And you notice Eric's hands, he guides them so well. Comes down that last little stride, lets his horses balance, he relaxes, lets them come up to him. Beautiful through the A. B is amazing. And C as well. Time is a factor, so Eric Navet with that early rail turned this into a wonderful schooling opportunity, 84.47 seconds. So just the 4 jumping faults, and he's going to pick up 3 time faults. But he had a plan. That rail came down early through that combination. You can see that smile on his face. He was happy with the way that the horse ended up. It was that early rail at fence number 4A. And then he just turned that right into a beautiful schooling ride. Eric Navet, Calypso, watch for them on Saturday, $100,000 Longines FEI World Cup jumping Coachella, as we are in for a great event. 33, in fact, joining us this afternoon alone. First of the FEI events. Tomorrow, $42,200 Desert Classic. And again, Saturday, that is the Longines FEI World Cup qualifier. Here's Delaney Flynn riding for the USA. A young rider here aboard Milan 4. Well, young rider, but you know what? She is super talented. Rides for the USA, Milan 4. A great, I mean, this horse is amazing. This horse down to a 13-year-old gelding. Was still... Right now, 8 clears.
Join us here on the course.
Well, 8 clears. In fact, I'm told, just been told, Jenny McAllister, they just texted Sunday, will not be coming back for the jump off. So, well, 8 qualifying for the jump off, 7 right now coming back. We'd love to have Delaney Flynn in the jump off. She's more or less just stepping up in the last little bit to the Grand Prix level. But she rides with such skill and experience. Fence number 3, that's behind her. She's got this combination. The one thing about this horse, down on fence number 4A, Milan 4, this horse has its own motor, loves to go at the fences. Okay, fence number 7 coming down. So 4A, Delaney Flynn, at the same fence as Eric Navet, and also fence number 7 now. And that horse has got up so nicely over top of that boxer. Great jump at fence number 10. Vertical, oxer, vertical. 1 stride, 2 stride. The Pac-Man combination. A is down. Have to ride a little bit for the C element. The reign's getting a little bit longer. And there is the finish line. 12 jumping faults. Time is not a factor. 75 seconds right on the nose. And 12 jumping faults. Well, she's out of the top placings, but she's got to be happy with that. That young rider, Delaney Flynn, aboard Milan 4. That horse owned by Grace Jacobson of Westlake Village, California. And Delaney Flynn, she really is a good hand on a horse. So Hite coming back for the jump off. And Milan 4, always a little frisky, which is just wonderful to see. Loves his job. Well, Pharaoh DC, also 13 years of age, this bay gelding. Well, the rider and owner from Eugene, Oregon, riding for the USA, Carrie-Ann Boyce Lockhart. So we want to get another American rider in this jump-off. $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. You see, Carrie-Ann Boyce Lockhart started on that left lead. Did the flying change just to make sure the horse is paying attention to her as she comes down to that first fence. Oh. That is just too bad. But once again, fence number 1, there's the oxer. It's right. Oh, fence number 2 coming down as well. So possibly, oh, fence number 3, Pharaoh DC looking maybe like he's a little bit distracted today. Unfortunately, that stop at fence number 4A. Not normal for Pharaoh DC. To seem a little bit distracted. Gets with the A. Gets a nice reapproach. And Carrie-Ann Boyce Lockhart, chances are she's going to turn this into a really nice schooling ride for Pharaoh DC. Make sure that he gets his concentration back in focus. It's just like people, sometimes you can lose your focus and you get distracted by other things that are going on, and it just doesn't come out as exactly as planned. So that's exactly what she's doing. Carrie-Ann Boyce Lockhart from Eugene, Oregon, a great rider. And remember, this is the first of the FEI events this week, the second one being tomorrow, and most of these riders, because they're really, really close in the point standings on the Longines FEI World Cup North American Western Sub-League, and also from the East as well. We've had riders that have come out from the East in order to try to qualify for the World Cup Finals this spring. So nicely through that triple combination, just the oxer remaining. There's that finish line. You know what, I think she's going to be happy with the way that ended, because she certainly did get the attention of Pharaoh DC back on the job. 100.61 seconds, so jumping faults and time faults as well for Carrie-Ann Boyce Lockhart from Eugene, Oregon, and Pharaoh DC. I know not exactly how she had wanted. And sometimes a bad dress rehearsal is not the worst thing to have, because sometimes you can go back and say, okay, I can fix this for Saturday. Well, we had one scratch in the order. That was a Canadian rider, Tracy Epp, and Chicago. Back to the USA, Jennifer Gates aboard Alex. Alex, a 14-year-old gelding. And this horse is owned by Evergate Stables. This rider from Palo Alto, California. And while a young rider, got to say, she is super. The one nice thing about Jennifer Gates, when you watch her ride, she has such a nice feel, and her hands are really, really soft with her horses. Always gets into always a nice spot where they can jump clean. Oh, unfortunately, fence number 4A coming down. First of the combinations. Once again, gets to a nice spot at fence number 6. Horse stays up at the vertical, jumps it easily. Jennifer Gates and Alex. And that's the main thing with show jumping, foot placement. I was talking to Will Simpson years ago. He said it was the same thing with basketball and show jumping and most other things. But it's that foot placement. It's where you want to get to that prime spot for the horse to be able to jump and have the most opportunity to jump clear. So 4 jumping faults, just that one rail, Jennifer Gates and Alex. Not saying the time's a factor. Oh, when the A is down. However, these riders, they do have to stay on quite a clip, 375 meters per minute. Over 470 meters, that's the length on course. 74.34 seconds, and just the 2 fences down.
So we took 8
jumping faults for Jennifer Gates and Alex for the USA. But that is a great rider in her own right. So I think she's going to be happy with that, as I know she is looking to head towards Saturday. Right now on the Longines FEI World Cup North American Western Sub-League, Richard Spooner in first, Mandy Porter in second, Eric Navet third, Jenny McAllister fourth, Jamie Barge in fifth. Those are the top 5. And we hear the sound of the tone, Nicole Simpson, and this is, I got to say, this is a spicy Bay 10-year-old mare. I love this mare, Hakuna Matata. And this horse owned by Silver Raven Farms of Laguna Niguel, California. And this mare can jump, I got to tell you, wow. And Nicole Simpson riding for the USA. Coming to the AIG signature fence number 2. Oh, and you see that mare just stretch out over fence number 3. She is super athletic. And she, again, another horse that really has her own motor. And this horse, I have to say, is a little bit like a cat. She knows exactly where all of her legs are, does a brilliant job making sure that she jumps clear. As we come to fence number 7, there's going to be that right-hand turn onto 8, the plank. That's a skinny plank. Oh, wow. What a jump over fence number 8. Here's this line. Nikki Simpson does a great job setting this mare up. And you see Nikki Simpson, she has to, there's always that check ride because this mare wants to go. And sometimes you have to say, no, just wait, relax. There's the C element. And fence number 12, time definitely not a factor here. This is the one to watch for in the jump off, in my opinion, because they are fast. 73.53 seconds. USA with another in the jump off. Nicole Simpson and Hakuna Matata clear around 73.53 seconds. What a great rider. What a great horse. And we go to another in the jump off. Look at that. USA, 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 USA. US with 4 riders in the jump off. 4 qualified for the jump off. And Nicole Simpson right now, the 9th to come back. And that mare, she is nice and spicy. You just see that look. She knows that she knows her job. She loves her job. And that has got to be a handful of a mare to ride. But it's going to take all of your skill. Nicole Simpson, a super, super, super talented professional rider for the USA. Let's go to the 12-year-old stallion. This is a great stallion, the Gladiator, amateur rider, Tiffany Sullivan. And this horse owned by Haley Farms from Encino, California. Now this is a Belgian warm blood. Well, Tiffany Sullivan, amateur rider, very experienced at this level. He gets it nicely over fence number 1. Makes that right-hand turn. And sometimes with fence number 1 going towards that in-gate, it can be a little bit of a dreaded fence because it can come down, while being rampy, it still can come down a little bit. And as the horses can get a little bit distracted, you see there's a lot going on at the in-gate. Fence number 4B coming down for Tiffany Sullivan and the Gladiator. Just looked like you got maybe a little bit too close to that vertical, through that Oxer vertical combination. Now Tiffany Sullivan, I mean, while this horse, this 12-year-old stallion, he's a big horse, Tiffany Sullivan is not the biggest rider as well. So this horse can overpower her just a little bit and get her possibly 6 inches past where she wants to be on those takeoffs. As you see from that 9 to 10, he wanted to grab that bit just a little bit and attack fence number 10. She had to say, whoa, whoa, come back, as she's doing right now into this triple combination. There's the A. Explodes over the B. Oh, what a nice triple combination. Just that one rail. That's unfortunate. I think that's where she's going to end, and just time faults as well. Nice schooling ride, Tiffany Sullivan and the Gladiator. So 4 jumping faults. We're also going to add on 2 time faults for a total of 6 and into 12th place. That's that final ribbon placing. $35,000 Desert Welcome Steak, part of the 2018 Hits Coachella Desert Circuit. This is the 4th week of amazing competition. I got to say, amazing weather as well. 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius, not a cloud in the sky. Well, what can you say about this next rider? Olympic gold medalist. She is phenomenal. She is absolutely amazing. Rides for the USA, Beezie Madden, and Breitling Nassar is this 12-year-old stallion.
Madden aboard.
Now, if you wanted to see Beezie Madden's resume, it would probably fit into an encyclopedia. She is that talented, that successful. She's represented the United States so many times and done it the USA so proud as well. So over fence number 1. Now this rider originally shows out east. Now joining us here in Coachella Valley. And fence number 2. And Beezie Madden, if you watch her ride, it is an absolute pleasure. Oh, such a solid ride. Fences 1 through 5 so far. Makes that left-hand turn on a fence number 6. And certainly love to have Beezie Madden and Breitling Nassar in the jump-off. Fence number 7, easily done. Not coming close to any one of the fences. Not even a rub on course. There's the plank vertical. Left-hand turn. You see Beezie, her head automatically just looking for that next fence. Helps her horse set up that turn as well. Sets it up beautifully for fence number 10. She's looking, and you see that, and the horse just stays right, nice and square between her hand and leg. There's a vertical. Oh, rubbed it. Oxer. Okay, that's not a problem. We're coming home clear. There's that last Oxer, 75.48 seconds, and a clear round for Beezie Madden and Breitling Nassar. So the USA with another in the jump-off. And I got to say, this is the place you want to be, FEI YouTube, for this jump-off $35,000 Desert Welcome Steak. As we have John Anderson, Karl Cook, Justin Prather, Ali Ramsay, Mandy Porter, Elizabeth Jingrath, Jenny McAllister, Nayel Nassar, Nicole Simpson, and now that amazing Olympic gold medalist Beezie Madden, and numerous time Olympic gold medalist Beezie Madden for the USA. So USA with another, the host nation, another in the jump-off. Back to these Canadian riders, and Elizabeth Jingrath back in the ring. She is aboard Avalon this time. Now, Elizabeth Jingrath, she has won in the jump-off already, so she has already mastered this course, set by Alan Wade from Tipperary, Ireland. So she knows how it rides. She knows where most of the questions are being asked, but this is a brand-new horse, a 12-year-old gelding, and a Westphalian.
With Elizabeth Grinness, the rider.
And this horse owned by the Erickson Alina Group of Calgary, Alberta. So Elizabeth Jingrath, fence number 1. Horse explodes off the ground. This horse has a lot of power. You see the way it canters. It also looks like it's got a lot of step. Which sometimes that's a little bit harder to control, that big step, because the horses want to get just a little bit out of your hand and open up the step maybe a little bit further than you think they have. But this horse looks like it's jumping perfectly. Left-hand turn as we come down to fence number 6. So she could easily have 2 in the jump-off. So fence number 8, so clear so far. And Elizabeth Gingras looking like she's liking this course set by Alan Wade. Okay, so right-hand turn. Vertical, Oxer, vertical. 11 A, B, C, and then 12. That's all she has ahead. There's the A. There's the B. Okay, so she is that close to having 2 in the jump off. Time could be a factor. Time could be a factor. Oh, and time will be a factor. Elizabeth Gingras, her second ride, Avalon. They're going to pick up 1 time fault in a time of 77.26 seconds. No jumping fault. She's got to be happy with her horses. However, that rider from Calgary, Alberta, Elizabeth Gingras, clear aboard her first one. She's going to have 1 on the jump off. Just 1 time fault aboard her second mount. And that is Avalon, a 12-year-old black gelding. And great to have all of everybody watching us online on the Hits Network, off the Hits website. So Elizabeth Gingras and Avalon, just the 1 time fault. And Charles Jacobs, for the horse owned by Longfurter and Glasgow Demuse. This is a 12-year-old bay gelding, a Belgian warm blood.
Entry number 981, owned by Ian Frater, with Charles M. Jacobs in the irons.
Wow, what a great first fence. Glasgow Demuse and Charles Jacobs. Another horse that looks a little spicy there. There's a 12-year-old gelding, Glasgow Demuse, owned by Longfurter. It's that first combination. He's a little bit tight, not a problem. Nice work from Charles Jacobs. He's on fence number 5, left-hand turn, 6 and 7 ahead. Okay, so fences 1 through 7. There are behind Charles Jacobs and Glasgow Demuse. There's the plank vertical. Not a problem with that vertical at all. Height of the fence is certainly not a factor for this horse or this rider. I think he got down to fence number 10 just a little bit faster than Charles had wanted to. So Charlie Jacobs and Glasgow Demuse. There's the B. Straightens him back out. There's the C. Oh, so time is going to be a factor. So Charlie Jacobs and Glasgow Demuse, they're going to pick up 1 time fault in a time of 78.16 seconds. Now, these riders, at times they are using this as a nice welcome class, a nice introduction for these horses into this Grand Prix Stadium. Lots of things to look at in the Grand Prix Stadium. Brand new fences as well. And I think Charlie Jacobs and Glasgow Demuse, they got to be happy with that job that they just put in as just the 1 time fault, and the horse not even coming close to any of those 15 jumping efforts set by Alan Wade.
Let's go ahead and welcome to the course now, Casino.
So 10 qualifying for the jump off. In fact, 9 coming back for the jump off. Now we're going to see if we can increase that number with Ali Ramsay back in the ring aboard Casino. Ali Ramsay, Canadian rider from Victoria, BC. She already has 1 in the jump off. Emilian van de Hooghoeve, that was her first ride, and that was the horse that went clear in that 7th spot out of the starter gate. This is Casino, a 10-year-old gelding. And Oldenburg. And Ali Ramsay, rider and owner from Victoria, BC. So there's the A element, 4B. I had to fight a little bit to get that extra stride put in at fence number 5. Just get the right number of strides into fence number 5. Ali Ramsay as well. A very petite rider. And this is a very strong horse. Okay, fences 1 through 8, not a problem at all as we come down to the Oxer at fence number 9. Get a little close to the back rail, but that's not a big deal. So just the second of the combinations, 11, A, B, and C. There's the A. Nicely over the B. a great ride through the sea. And time's definitely not a factor. Whoa, what a ride. So Allie, Ramsay, and Casino, we're going to see them in the jump-off. Allie with 2 qualify for the jump-off, $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. As her time, 73.46 seconds. And easily onto that time allowed of 76 seconds. So Allie Ramsay, she's got to be happy with that as she has 2 in the jump-off. You see right now on the screen, Allie Ramsay in that 4th position, as well as she just went clear on her 2nd mount. And so she is the 11th. That 1 in 7th spot, Jenny McAllister, I'm told she is not coming back for the jump-off. It's 11 qualified, 10 coming back. Curado RC, this is a young 9-year-old gelding. This horse owned by Rancho Corazon of Limitar, New Mexico. The rider from Santa Clarita, California, Richard Spooner, the master of faster.
Takes the ride for the owner today.
And so Richard Spooner just bringing this horse up through the ranks. This is a 9-year-old gray gelding. So just stepping up into the World Cup at the World Cup level from fence number 2 on to fence number 3. And so Richard Spooner, his first ride, and that was Arthosar, the stallion, having 8 faults. Good chance for Richard to improve on that. And this is a beautiful gray gelding. So there is that turn back to fence number 6 on to fence number 7. So Richard so far so good for Richard Spooner and Curado RC. Plank vertical at fence number 8. Oxford to the vertical, that line, with Liverpool at fence number 9. See those beautiful mountains in the background. Oh, so nicely done. The horse just came off the ground beautifully. 11 A, B, and C. There's the Pac-Man. There's the A. Nicely done. Presses over the B. As the horse come up to him at C. Here's fence number 12. It's time to be a factor. We're going to find out. Oh, yes, it's going to be 77.36 seconds. What a great schooling ride. Richard Spooner, I think he was going for that one-time fault. Wanted to get that beautiful ride. The horse came off the ground at every fence so solidly. And you can see Richard Spooner, the master of faster, super happy with that. As he looks like he's going to reach into his jacket pocket. And look at that. Yeah, he's happy with that. The horse is going to get a treat. And so Richard Spooner, happy with that performance, and he certainly should be. That is a wonderful 9-year-old gelding. That horse easily over any and all of the fences on course. Those 15 jumping efforts up to 1.45 m. And that horse looks like he is limitless with potential. Well, Karl Cook back in the ring. This is the second rider to go clear. This rider from Rancho Santa Fe, and he rides for Signy Ostaby of Woodside aboard Callao. Callao is an 11-year-old gelding, and Karl Cook, he could add another one for him in the jump-off and another one for the host nation of the USA in this jump-off round. As 11 clears. Well, the horse just did a little swap about 3 strides out of the Oxer. Didn't cause any problems at all. So off the right lead to the left lead, just coming down to fence number 1, but that's not a problem. Karl's truly a wonderful, seasoned athlete. Not a whole bunch affects him. So 4A, 4B. Make that turn. You see those beautiful mountains in the background. Not a cloud in the sky. It is a picture-perfect day for show jumping. Oh, rattled fence number 6. Okay, on to fence number 7. The blank, that's behind him. Only has 6 more jumping efforts. There's the Oxer. There's the vertical. Made a little bit of a horse kind of cut in a little bit coming into A, so Karl's had to ride a little bit harder through that combination than I think he anticipated. I think he thought the horse wasn't going to try to duck in past his inside leg. But still a clear round, and the USA with another in the jump-off. What a great ride, Karl Cook and Callao. On the time, 75.36 seconds. And just a brilliant ride from Karl Cook coming into that triple combination, because that horse did something I think that Karl did not expect. Cut that turn just a little bit faster than Karl anticipated the horse was going to come around. So he had to ride harder through that triple combination to make sure that he got through clear. But he did such a masterful job. Such a great job. Karl Cook and Caillou. Let's just have a look at the in-gate there. And just coming down the ramp, Nayel Nassar for Egypt. His second ride is Lutz. Lutz, a 9-year-old chestnut gelding. Now Westphalian, source owned by Evergate Stables of Palo Alto. As mentioned, Nayel Nassar, well, rides for Egypt internationally, calls home Encinitas, California.
Evergate Stables.
And Nayel Nassar, he was clear aboard Lorden. So he has a chance at having 2 in the jump off. As Ali Ramsay with 2 in the jump off. Karl Cook as well with 2 in the jump off. And it just gives you more chances at that total purse of $35,000 in the Desert Welcome Stake. So Nayel Nassar, the first of 5 remaining in round number 1. Easily over fence number 1. And beautiful white markings on this horse's face. Easily over fence number 2. So flexible through the hips. And this horse really likes to stretch over top of those oxers to make sure it gets past those back rails. Rattle at fence number 4A. Stayed up. And Nayel, another one of those riders that has absolutely beautiful hands. When you watch his connection with his horses. Just one of those riders that always rides leg to hand. Okay, there's fence number 9. Looking like not a problem so far at any one of these jumping efforts. Just 4 remaining. And that triple combination in front of the Go Rentals VIP Pavilion and fence number 12. The Purina signature fence. The A. B's behind them. Oh, rattle. And the C's behind them. Coming home. Look at the time. Yep, time's going to be a problem here. 77.91 seconds. But a great schooling ride for Nayel Nassar aboard the 9-year-old chestnut gelding, Lutz.
This afternoon for our last team.
And I think that's exactly the ride that Nayel was planning. He wanted to just have a nice, solid ride, because that's a young chestnut gelding, only 9 years of age. And that horse owned by Evergate Stables of Palo Alto. So 4 remaining in the jump-off. Right now, 12 qualified for the jump-off. 12 round placings and a $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake this afternoon. First of the 4, this horse owned by Jasmine Weber-Talley of Orange, California. Well, his name is Ramstein. And the rider from San Juan Capistrano, Joey Gatlin. Ramstein, a 10-year-old bay gelding. And this horse, in fact, named after the band Rammstein, the German band Rammstein. And Joey Gatlin, a very seasoned professional rider out of San Juan Capistrano. So coming to that first combination. Little shake of the head, not a problem. Comes down, the B is perfect. And jumps fence number 5, absolutely picture perfect to this point. Left-hand turn. And Joey Gatlin's such a super professional rider. And Rammstein is making it look so easy to this point. Fence number 7, that's behind them. Now, this plank has not caused too much of a problem at all this afternoon here in the Grand Prix Stadium. There's fence number 9. fence number 10. Okay, we're going to make that turn. She's clear so far. Time, ooh, well, you can see Joey just picking up that pace around the corner. Okay, B, and there's the C. Okay, there's got to be the chase for the finish line. Will she get there? Oh, no, 76.38 seconds. What a great ride. Joey Gallin and Ramstein, but they are just out of our top placings. Joey, you could tell she had that clock in her head as she came around to that triple combination. She picked up the pace. She knew she was going to be tight, but unfortunately, well, the time did catch up with her, 76.38 seconds. Just that one time fault, but you know what? She's going to be super happy with that, as Ramstein also moving up to this level. And Ramstein, a 10-year-old big gelding. So Joey Gatlin and Ramstein, just the one time fault into 13th place. So just out of our top placings, Eric Navet aboard Beezie Madden, this rider for France. Calls home Rancho Santa Fe, California. Rides for Signe Osterby of Woodside. So Eric Navet and Beezie Madden, a 12-year-old gelding here. Royal Dutch Warm Blood. And the second ride for Eric Navet. His first ride, Cathipso, having fence number 4A down. And Eric Navet, always a super tactician. Okay, it's a 4A and 4B. Little rub on fence number 4B. Not a big deal. Fence number 5. Now, Eric Navet, he in fact could be just making this into a little bit of schooling ride and trying to prepare for Saturday. Because Eric Navet and Beezie Madden, Eric Navet, in fact, and his student, Karl Cook, at the end of January, they were at the Guadalajara, the Longines FEI World Cup, jumping Guadalajara to pick up valuable points, trying to get to the finals. 75.24 seconds and a clear round.
Clear round there, and joining the ranks, making it 13 now, returning for the jump off with.
So France with one in the jump off. Eric Navet, Beezie Madden, making it look so easy.
Just two more remain before we work the turf and set for the jump off with our 13.
13 qualifying for the jump off. And just two remaining in round number 1. $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. Eric Navet and Beezie Madden. So France won in the jump off.
And Chandler Meadows.
Two remaining. Young amateur rider here from Newport Beach, California, Chandler Meadows. And she's aboard the 10-year-old gelding, Damien. Royal Dutch Warm Blood. A super amateur rider as well. Chandler Meadows aboard Damien. This is a great pairing up. Chandler Meadows, in fact, rides with Joey Gatlin. So Joey Gatlin and Ramstein just went 2 ago. So possibly that gives Chandler just a little bit extra information, as Joey would have come out of the ring and told her how maybe some of the lines rode as opposed to how they walked. But while an amateur rider, she's a superb rider. Chandler Meadows, just a slight little rub. Fence number 7. Coming down to fence number 8, and that is the Longines vertical. A plank over top. Easily over top of that. Now here comes the orange oxer with the Liverpool. Not a problem there. Vertical. As we're looking at the time, time may be a factor. I'm not sure yet. She looks like she went maybe a little bit wider to come into fence number 11A. 11B. And 11C. Oh, I think she's going to be great. There's that clear round, and the time, it is good. Chandler Meadows in the jump off.
Clear within and going on the board with the clear
Wow,
round
75.07 seconds. She's got to be super happy with that. As she made that little bit wider turn to fence number 11A, but you know what? She was super efficient in the first part of that course, so she banked some time and knew that she could allow herself to have a better approach, a little bit longer approach to fence number 11A into the triple combination. So brilliant ride, tactical ride from this amateur from Newport Beach, California. And our final rider rides for New Zealand internationally, Guy Thomas. And this horse owned by Emily Livermore of Woodside, Jonquière Z, a 16-year-old stallion, and a Zanga Shida final in round number 1, with 14 qualified for the jump-off. So Guy Thomas and Jonquière Z, also known as Johnny in the barn. That's his barn name, is Johnny, a 16-year-old stallion. Easily over fence number 1. Great season rider, Grand Prix rider, numerous Grand Prix wins for Guy Thomas. So fence number 3. And you just tell this with this horse's coat, he's in perfect shape. Oh, just as I said that, fence number 4A coming down. That is just some tough luck. Well, into that combination, fence number 4A also do have a black gate underneath, so something that horses possibly could look at. This is a seasoned rider and a seasoned horse as well. So just the slightest misstep at fence number 4A with 4 faults for Guy Thomas. I think he's going to turn this into a nice schooling ride as well. As remember, these riders, they're looking for Saturday, $100,000. The prize money continues to grow all throughout the week. $42,200 tomorrow. And Saturday, $100,000. That's exactly what Guy Thomas has done. He's just turned this into a great schooling ride. He knew it was just a minor rail, nobody's fault, in fact. So 4 jumping, just one time, 77.65 seconds. You can tell he's shaking his head. He's not exactly happy with that. However, knowing Guy Thomas, he's not going to let that affect him too much. And Jonquière Z just gets a little bit strong, which is not that big a deal. This horse loves his job. And Guy Thomas adores this 16-year-old stallion, Jonquière Z. Well, so we are going to be taking just a momentary break here. $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake, the first of the 3 FEI competitions this week, part of the 2018 HITS Coachella Desert Circuit. This is week number 4, and this is the World Cup qualifier week, Saturday. $100,000 Longines FEI World Cup qualifier. That'll be Saturday. Tomorrow, $42,200 Desert Classic.
For the jump off in just a moment.
And we have lots of great events as well going on here right in the Grand Prix Stadium. So tomorrow, as we get ready for this jump off, and it's going to be a fast jump off as well with that list of those coming back for the jump off. Time allowed on the jump off, 45 seconds, but we're going to be back in just a moment.
Desert Welcome Stake, part of our 3 days of jumper competition here in Thermal, California. So when we return for the jump off, our jump off round will consist of fences 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, A, B, and 12. We have a 45-second time allowed in the jump-off round with those 8-effort course. Mr. Karl Cook will be riding back on 2 entries. Ali Ramsay has 2 entries to return with us. Nicole Simpson up on Makuna Tata. Thirteen riders to return here this afternoon in our jump-off round. In just a few minutes away, we'll see who takes that lion's share of the $35,000 here this afternoon in Thermal, California at Desert 4.
So 14 qualified for the jump off, $35,000 Desert Welcome Steak. 14 qualified, 13 coming back as Jenny McAllister lead just touched the sun. They have opted out of the jump off round. Time allowed in the jump off, 45 seconds, 280 meters. You can see those last little touches being done on the jump off. And a jump off starting at fence number 1. From there, right hand turn on to fence number 2 and fence number 3. After fence number 3, the Oxer, they're going to make a left-hand turn, come down to the Liverpool Oxer at fence number 9, with the orange rails. Straight down to fence number 10, 11A and 11B, the C element having been removed, and fence number 12. That'll be the final fence in the jump-off. And so 4 nations represented in this jump-off round, with France, Egypt, Canada, and of course the host nation of the USA. And with the U.S. qualifying 6 out of those 13 for the jump-off. So 6 American riders, 5 Canadian riders, 1 from Egypt and 1 from France. You can see just the beautiful skyline or the landscape of this beautiful Coachella Valley. A slight breeze on course, which is perfect with this wonderful 88-degree weather. And looks like our first entry back for the jump-off is raring to go, and that'll be John Anderson from Calgary, that Canadian Olympian, aboard Granite S, 13-year-old gelding. He was the first to go and the first to come back for the jump-off, the first clear. So the first back for the jump-off, John Anderson and Granite S. He's looking at that turn back to fence number 9.
5 seconds to do the course in, and let's see what he could do.
And so the sound of the tone, and we are ready to start this jump off. 13 coming back, and John Anderson and Granite S starting us off. Nice galloping approach to fence number 1, John Anderson and Granite S. Makes possibly a wider approach to fence number 2 than he planned. There's fence number 3. Now we're going to make that left-hand turn on a fence number 9. There's Liverpool. Okay, so right-hand turn, 11A and B, C element of that triple combination has been removed. So there's the vertical. Rub on the vertical, the oxer, not a problem. And there is the run, the gallop, and the finish line for John Anderson and Granite S. And so the first entry going double clear. And again, our time allowed 45 seconds in that jump-off round. Our second rider already up. He is 2 in the jump-off. Karl Cook from Rancho Santa Fe rides for the USA aboard Tembla, the Zangashada 14-year-old chestnut mare.
That's the bell that sends our next rider to attempt the course. Here's Sig Osby's Chimbella with Karl Cook aboard. First of 2 rides for him here at the jump.
So the first of 2, and he qualified both his mounts for the jump-off. Karl Cook for the USA aboard Tembla. Right now he's looking to beat John Anderson and Granite S. He's got to go clear, and he's got to go fast. Nice cut to fence number 2. Just hug that fence that he had to go around. There's fence number 3. Oh, and it's down. So John Anderson putting in that clearing performance puts a little bit of pressure on those remaining riders as they know they have to go clear and they have to go fast. But Karl Cook, he has 2 chances in the jump-off. Comes down to the combination in the jump-off round. Makes the wider approach. Nicely over the oxer. Fence number 11B. Oh, and she gets up so nicely over top of that. Karl Cook and Tembla, 41.34 seconds. And just that 1 fence down. 4 jumping faults into second place. So John Anderson, Granite S still in the lead. And 2 of the 13 have joined us in the jump-off round. Right now, Karl is going to forget that ride as he will be coming back on Caillou in just a little bit. From Calgary, Alberta, Justin Prather right there aboard Bolero HX, a 12-year-old gray gelding.
No double clears so far. Here's Brandon Equine's Bolero HX and Justin Prather.
And so Justin Prather, amateur rider from Calgary, Alberta, the third of the 13, as he is trying to chase down fellow Canadian John Anderson and Granite S for the lead. Oh, has the same fence that Karl Cook had down. 4 jumping faults. Right now he's looking at moving to second place. He's got to be faster than 41.34. Looks like he's got a nice gallop as he makes that approach to the combination. There's the A. There's the B. Now the gallop. Oh, what a nice ride. 38.11 seconds. Unfortunately, he had that one fence down. Justin Prather, well, he's still got to be happy with that.
Our 4 falters this time with the 38.11 for Bolero HX.
Looking like he took over first place, so John Anderson got an kind of rail that may not have seen on course.
Beezie 4, Alley 5, Karl Cook 7,
And here's Allie Ramsay. She qualified 2 for the jump off. This rider from Victoria, BC. Allie Ramsay aboard Hamillion van de Hoekhoeve. It's an 11-year-old bay mare.
Our 4th entry to return
So
for
He pushed fence number 1.
But he was with me today. Yeah.
He soars easily over that oxer. Certainly lots of jump in this 11-year-old mare. On the turn to fence number 9, nicely done. Gets the horse back on a fence number 10. Vertical oxer combination coming up next. Over the A, over the B. Oh, in 40.14 seconds, she gets that clear round as well for Allie Ramsay, Hamillion van de Hoekhoeve. So that puts her to first place. So Allie Ramsay, her first ride, she is right now in first spot with a time of 40.14 seconds. Justin Prather had a faster time, 38.11, but he couldn't leave all the fences in the cups. So Allie Ramsay in the lead, but still a number of very, very fast horse riding combinations remaining. Like the next one up, riding for the USA, that will be Mandy Porter and Milano. This $1 million pair, a 13-year-old bay gelding. And a clear round leads the field, 40.14 seconds. That was just put in by Allie Ramsay. And so that sound of the tone. And the bell goes off. Mandy Porter, this $1 million pair, Milano and Mandy Porter. They're going to head down to fence number 1. Nice approach to fence number 1. Makes the turn, fence number 2. And so far, so good. Not even missing a stride out there, Mandy Porter and Milano. Okay, so Mandy Porter, she looks like she has a really nice gallop on course. This horse also eats up a lot of ground. There's the A and B. Can she do it? 40.14. That's her time to beat. There's that finish line of 38.91 seconds. She does it. And the USA in first place, Mandy Porter and Milano. As right now, time to beat 38.91 seconds and a clear round. USA in first place, $35,000 Desert Welcome Steak. So Mandy Porter and Milano, they are on top of that podium, with Allie Ramsay now into second aboard Hamillion van de Hoekhoeve. And back to the riders from Canada, Elizabeth Gingras from Calgary, Alberta, aboard Daylight VDL. a 10-year-old gelding. So 38.91 seconds. That is the time to beat.
Working our course now, we're watching Daylight Group's Daylight VDL.
So nicely over fence number 1. Went a little bit wider than Mandy did to fence 2. But still not missing a step there.
On the course.
Ooh, nicely ridden at fence number 3.
Out of 13 to return.
Nice flowing ride to fence number 9. There's fence number 10 in the jump off. She's going to make that right-hand turn. 11A, 11B. Looks like she's a little bit slower than Mandy is. And the time, 40.62 seconds, and that's going to put her into 3rd place. So that's Elizabeth Gingras from Calgary, Alberta, into 3rd with a clear round aboard Daylight VDL. Mandy Porter and Milano still in 1st place, 38.91 seconds. So the USA leads the Desert Welcome Stake this afternoon.
Just answer the question. Just say yes or no.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yes, you can. Jack. Just nod your head.
Favorite horse for another day.
Here's a rider from Egypt, Nayel Nassar, and the 14-year-old stallion, Lorden. Time to beat 38.91. This horse rider combination, they are super fast. So Egypt may move to the top of the leaderboard. We're going to see.
Here's Nayel Nassar, owner rider of Lorden. Still that leading time at 38.
And looks like Lorden's just a little bit spunky out there. Love that 14-year-old stallion. Loves his job. Heads down to the first fence. So make that turn on fence number 2. And certainly on this course, no options for inside turns. So these riders, they've got to go as fast as they possibly can and make those turns as tight and efficient as possible. Nayel Nassar and Lorden, they come down to that combination, which leads them out down to the last line. Okay, 38.91 seconds. Can they do it? Ooh, 38.46 seconds, and looks like Nayel Nassar and Lorden, they're going to move into 1st place. And so just by fractions of a second, Nayel Nassar and Lorden, Egypt, on top of the podium in 1st place, $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. This beautiful Thursday afternoon of show jumping right here in the Grand Prix Stadium. So Nayel Nassar, 38.46 seconds. Those times those turns, they just have to be that much tighter, as no options for inside turns on this jump-off course, but that's not that big a deal. However, USA up next, and this mare, she is super, super fast. A 10-year-old mare goes by the name Hakuna Matata. Nicole Simpson is the rider. And you can see this horse, she is just raring to go. Trying to pull Nikki out of the tack a little bit. And this mare, just like a racehorse, really wants to go, loves her job. Easily over fence number 1, 38.46. That's her time to beat. Oh, down on fence number 3. Well, Nicole Simpson still wants to be fast as well, even with the 4 faults. As fast as the 4 falters, still good positioning. Oh, and look at that time, 37.65, and that was the time on the clock. And just too bad that one fence coming down for Nicole Simpson and Hakuna Matata. Super, super duper fast mare there.
Standing 4th right now.
as Nicole Simpson just backing her up just a little bit, just to calm her down, relax her, as her job in the ring is complete for the $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. 37.65 seconds. We know that time set by Nayel Nassar. It can be bettered, as Nicole Simpson just showed that, but unfortunately she could not do that and leave all the fences up. So just 5 remaining in the jump-off, with Egypt in the lead. Nayel Nassar and Lorden walking into the ring. Well, this is where the lead could change once again. Beezie Madden for the USA aboard Breitling LS. That's a 12-year-old stallion. We're told by Abigail Wexner.
569 comes to the course now. Here's Breitling LS and Beezie Madden takes to the course here for the jump-off round.
And it looks like Beezie Madden just picking up a nice pace coming out of fence number 1, Breitling LS. And what a seasoned competitor right here, Beezie Madden. Beautiful ride of fence number 2. Perfect ride of fence number 3. Makes that turn so easily. This horse just wants to follow exactly what Beezie's hands are doing. Fence number 9 right there. Okay, fence number 10. This looks like it's a beautiful ride. As always, Beezie Madden. A and B. Okay, now looks like she's got a lot of time. 38.46 seconds. That's the time to beat. 37.42, and the USA recaptures the lead. Beezie Madden and Breitling LS. Clear round, 37.42 seconds. So the USA on top of the leaderboard for our $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. Gotta love that. I mean, just did not look like she was moving that fast, but 37.42 seconds, a full second faster than Nayel Nassar. Okay, so 4 remaining. Looks like Karl Cook just moving up in the order. Aboard Caillou. That's an 11-year-old Grey Gelding, owned by Signiosity of Woodside. Second ride in the jump-off for Karl Cook. He had 4 faults aboard Temblout with a time of 41.34 seconds. So second chance for him. Time to beat now is just getting that much faster, 37.42. Great ride of fence number 2 on fence number 3. There we are. Of course, you just see that, just following his hands, exactly where Karl wants to get this horse to go. There's 9. Fence number 10. Combination and just 1 oxer. Looks like he's fast, but is he fast enough? 37.42 seconds. He's going to get that clear round. 39.73 seconds for Karl Cook and Caillou. So that puts them into 4th place. So I think Karl's going to be happy with that ride. Just 3 remaining in this jump-off round. There's a smile from Karl Cook. So, yeah, he's happy. But we're going to see, in fact, what 3 remaining have to say about this as Beezie Madden in the lead. 37.42 seconds, $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. As we come up to the second ride for Ali Ramsay, this rider from Victoria, BC, rides for Canada aboard Casino. I don't know, Beezie Madden, she put in such a fast time, 37.42 seconds. I'm not sure if that time is even touchable, but we're going to see. So Ali Ramsay, her second ride, she knows how this jump-off course rides already. As she was clear aboard her first mount with a time of 40.14. Okay, there's fence number 3. Gets a little bit wide on the turn back to fence number 9. That's going to cost her time. And this gelding certainly a very strong animal, because Ali Ramsay as well just looks like she's having a little bit of her hands full on course. She comes down to that A and B. This horse has super scope. And crossing that finish line, 41.84 seconds and a clear round. So Ali Ramsay, she's got to be happy. She has both her mounts going double clear, 41.84 seconds. And she's going to bring Casino back down. And that's the 10-year-old Bay Gelding, the Oldenburg. But Beezie Madden still in first place. USA in the lead in the Desert Welcome Stake, the first of the 3 FEI competitions this week, part of the 2018 Hits Coachella Desert Circuit Week number 4. Well, 2 nations left, France and the USA. France up next. Looking at that turn back to fence number 9. The legend Eric Navet aboard Basimoto. This horse owned by Signiosity of Redwood City. And this Royal Dutch Warm Blood, sired by Quasimodo Z. 37.42, that's our time to beat. Great ride to fence number 1. Keeps approaching and keeps that forward ride to fence number 2. Easily over fence number 3. Look at that turn. The horse landed ready to turn. Oh, fence number 9 is down. Okay, so 4 faults right now. Eric Navet and Basimoto. What a great ride in that jump off. Wow. 38.61 seconds. And he even started to slow up just after that rail. So who knows what his time actually would have been, because he was super efficient. Eric Navet and Basimoto, 4 jumping faults, 38.61 seconds. It was just an unfortunate back rail at the Oxford fence number 9. With just 1 remaining in our $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. You see Eric Navet just drop those reins, and the horse relaxes so nicely. Final in the jump off, the 13th and the last to go, the amateur rider, Chandler Meadows from Newport Beach aboard Damien. She rides for the U.S. So the USA guaranteed the win in the $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. But will it be Beezie Madden or Chandler Meadows?
Here's our final entry to view here in the jump-off round. Here's Chandler Meadows. And,
she's got a good gallop down to fence number 1. Easily over fence number 1, makes the turn. He's coming through that turn on fence number 2. Gives her horse nice and lots of room at fence number 3, making that turn. May not be the tightest turn at fence number 9, coming back to the Oxer. Okay, there's the vertical. Now she's coming home down to that last combination and the last line. 37.42 seconds. She can gallop. So double clear, 40.03 seconds for Chandler Meadows and Damien. That puts them in a 5th place. And that concludes our $35,000 Desert Welcome Stake. The win this afternoon, USA, Beezie Madden and Breitling Lassia. And thank you so much for joining us here online. And in fact, we're going to be getting our top placings back in the ring for these presentations. We'll be going back to the ring announcer for those presentations once again tomorrow. $42,200 Desert Classic. Another FEI event. It'll be on Friday, Saturday, $100,000 Longines FEI World Cup jumping qualifier. So Beezie Madden, Breitling Lassia win with the win. Nayel Nassar, Lorden in 2nd. Mandy Porter, Milano in 3rd. Karl Cook, Cayo in 4th. Chandler Meadows, Damien in 5th. Ali Ramsay in 6th. Aboard her first ride. Elizabeth Gingras, Daylight VDL in 7th. Ali Ramsay Casino in 8th place. Nicole Simpson, Akuna Matata in 9th. Justin Prather, Valero HX in 10th. 11th, Eric Navet, Basimoto. 12th, John Anderson on Granite S. And Karl Cook not in our top 12 as he just got bumped out of our top 12. Aboard Tembla, Jen McAllister, Lee just touched the sun, opting out of that jump off. Those are our top placings, the Longines FEI World Cup jumping right here in the beautiful, beautiful Coachella Valley, part of the 2018 HITS Coachella Desert Circuit. Again, we will be bringing our top placings back into the ring for these presentations. And again, tomorrow, the $42,200 Desert Classic, that will be broadcast once again on the HITS website. So thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to see you tomorrow.